Well, if the reports you are hearing from that area are anything to go by, you can draw the conclusion you have drawn now. Because you've seen the rate at which Wike is reeling out project commissioning. I think the figure was put at about 30 projects. Exactly about 30. No. Well, he's doing fine. And that's why I think it's labeled as Mr. Project. Well, but I don't think that project alone is enough to use as a yardstick to determine the performance of any chief executive. The living standard of people also counts. And that is why, even today, among some people in the rivers, Wike is not popular, in spite of all these projects we say is commissioning. I know the NLC in rivers is not on the same page with Wike. The lady is the chairperson of the NLC in rivers. They have been complaining of non-payment of gratuities and pensions and all of that. That's something to be worried about, in spite of all this noise about commission of project and project. Notwithstanding, we have been seeing what Wike is using the money for. I think for the figure you have here, the rivers 83 billion naira for the period of 1 year. That is some amount, and also if you study Wike's lifestyle, he looks like somebody who has had too much money to play with, and that's why he's in quote causing problem all over the place. There's money.
Is it causing or fighting for his fault?
I said in quote. I said in quote, causing problem all over the place because there's money for him to play with. So your question is, whereas we have been seeing all the projects that have been commissioning, that is to justify the amount which the report says he has collected.
Why are other governors? No, I mean, it's not the one receiving the highest. Rivers is number 4.
Delta is the highest.
It collected 83.12 billion, while Delta collected 141.90, almost 142 billion. You see, almost double. You
see, the fact that he is making noise does not mean that other states are not doing something at least to justify. You know, he's a noise maker, and so he has made enough noise for people. To get people's attention, and I don't want to believe that these other states don't have anything to show for the money that they have collected. Okay. Wike is a noise maker.
Okay, you wanted to.
Yes, I disagree with the captain.
Okay.
If you look at Niger Delta or Delta states, which have more funds, except when Ibuli was there, who constructed about 25-meter bridge, 25-kilometer bridge. Since these people have gotten there, each time it rains, Warri are in trouble. Or many other adjoining areas. So if you have done much, they would have done what they call ecological study and try to see how can they lift up. Even because I when I was correspondence, the state correspondent in Edo State for the news magazine, I cover both Delta. So every Wednesday we have to meet with Udon as governor there. Each time it rains in Ashaba, you have problem in driving through the streets. So they have not utilized as much as they've done in rivers. So Wike may be making noise. It's good to, if you can, nobody will blow your trumpet for you. He has done much more than those who collect more for you. And the reason is simply this: those who give them the money makes it easy for people to steal. You don't just allocate money to people. There must be a monitoring. In time past, when the ministry give you, or let's say governor give Ministry of Education, they will send Inspector of Education. They want to know how much those money have been utilized, which structure or building they are funding. The same thing in the days of Ministry of Works. You will see that a department there was majorly for cutting grass, done to patch the road. And today, I remember in 2003, the former governor of Abia, Ojikalu, was accused of being a thief. And the man laughed. He said, I'm a thief. The 2003 money budget from Lagos to Benin, yes, that is about 300 and something billion. And as Tony and Nene collect the money and pocketed it, the Obasanjo didn't say anything and the money did not come. He said, we use that money. The PDP use the money for election. So it is easier to steal and we make it difficult to investigate. Now, my leader was saying that, Mr. Agola was saying that we need to separate Ministry of Justice from the Attorney General. Beautiful. But the problem, before we do the separation, why is it that whenever some people is in trouble, haven't embezzled, governor, chairman of and you will see newly prosecute. So when you attempt to relieve a man who is in trouble, who has eaten or spoiled his finger in the resources of the state, you make it easier for them. Other will continue to steal. So it is because we make it easier for people to steal and difficult to investigate. That's why this thing continues. So I was even suggesting the other time that if you are attached to it, in time past, because I worked with the federal government before, whenever they give you money, you are expected to retire. I hope I'm right, sir. That's the language. Yeah. You are to retire the fund collected. The same thing apply, even to the top. So if you don't retire, they won't give you another one. And who are the one we are to retire to? The National Assembly, the State Assembly. And instead, they even call local government. Oh yeah, local government, come and explain the budget for last year. You have to go with brown envelope. And as soon as you bring the brown envelope, and I can say with all authority, you are cleared. And the same thing at National Assembly. So these are the reasons why it is like that. Until we are able to make it difficult for people to steal and then sanction those who steal, it is then that people will have to think twice before they begin to just say, it is my turn.
I want to make a point. So I think this derivation fund is not a fund that is attached to a particular project for federal government to monitor. It's designed to alleviate because of the peculiarity of these areas. Yes. But it's not a fund that attached to a particular project for anybody to make oversight function on it. I think that point must be made clear. Is the money given to this state
to make life better?
Yes,
especially those who are going through pollution.
I am aware, because I covered with those people for about 6-7 years. Okay. That there is this agency we call a commission, also padded.
Yes, you are right. They are even in their door.
We also have in
their door states.
Late Olusegun Agagu started it because I knew it was a new project that was embraced by almost all the other states there.
From that derivation.
So the entire 13% will go into the account of that commission.
Yes.
And from there,
they monitor whatever they are using the money for.
Not the federal government. Just as Sake said, even they use it to pay school fees.
Yes. Scholarship and many other things. Yes. To even assist the sick ones.
So that's why I want to disagree with
this is what I'm going. You will speak last on this issue. Meaning that the ideas are okay.
Yes.
But the problem has always
is the implementation.
Yes. That's the general problem Nigeria has. Beautiful ideas. But when it comes to implementation, that's the problem. Now the concept is, since you people, we generated this money from your area and you have suffered as a result of that, this money should go back. But when it gets back to the state, now it should go to the real people who suffered it. Now if you are going to attach this thing, retirement is done in ministry, in departments. This is their entitlement. It is a constitutional issue. So no president can say, okay, I won't give you. If there are no funds, so it go, and then if we can check all money, and not only if we are going to check, we are going to monitor, then we should monitor all money given to states.
So all funds should be
of course should be accounted for.
Yes, all funds should be accounted
for. I know we'll still have reason to come and look at this issue again. Let's move to the second topic now. Sake, INEC says in case there is no clear winner in the 2023 general elections, that it is prepared for a runoff. It has generated the action. I know PDP has said there won't be.
There won't be any runoff. So INEC should not.
Expectedly. But now let's look at this position from INEC. How would you react to it?
Well, I think it means INEC is being proactive. It is preparing, and according to them, the number of ballot papers they've collected is taken care of in case there is runoff. It shows the commission is doing a good job. It doesn't want to be caught unawares. And it's the area of runoff. I think we have not experienced runoff in any presidential election in Nigeria. The nearest we got to that place was during 1979. Yes, and we felt the election would run into runoff because I was privileged to be part of a Project 79 day reporters that covered that election in Lagos. and we were preparing for that runoff. Just suddenly, Akinde just emerged from nowhere and
change the calculation
and change the whole narrative. And that's so the point I'm making is that, well, I want to believe that there will be runoff because a lot of issues have come into play in this this present arrangement because of this ethnic coloration, because of this religious correlation. It has polarized the country along the line of this presidential, and we have somebody from the east, we have somebody from the west, we have two from the north. So all this, when we bring all this together, there is the need for us to be tempted to agree that there will be runoff. And I don't see any of these candidates at the first ballot imagine victorious.
Yes, even before I next say it, I think to those I've been privileged to share my mind with, I was of the view, and I'm still of the view, that Obi is going to be the spoiler in the game. How? It will take a certain percentage, high percentage from the east, and some percentage from the west, and some part of the north. NPP will also take support. The PDP and the APC will also share votes in the southwest here. So as a result, none of them can emerge, not likely to emerge at the first ballot.
Will it be right to call Obi a spoiler?
No, I'm just saying it's going to look like that. He's not a spoiler. He has a right, like any other. I'm not using that word.
And he also has chances too.
He has the chances, but the probability is that the two big elephants are not likely to give way.
Okay.
For obvious reasons.
Can we witness tsunami in this coming election? The departure from what we are witnessing.
Well, I'm a little bit different, pessimistic. Yes. Why? Because you see, the question I've always asked myself: will Peter Obi be the William Ruto of Nigeria? If you look at the social media, very dominant. In fact, somebody even described them as being cyberbullying. I mean, the fans of this thing. Then, now even if he wins, it will generate another problem. But even let's leave that. What I have seen so far, you see, history has a terrible way of repeating itself. But I agree that in life, the only thing that is permanent is change. Change will always come, whether we like it or not. But so far, Peter Obi, yes, I mean, he in fact, even if he doesn't win, let me put it, even if he doesn't win, he has made an impact. He will make the traditional politicians,
all traditional political parties, thank you,
to go back to their shelf and examine certain things.
I believe Faroche said something about him, or was it Femi Fani Kayode? I think it's Femi Fani Kayode that we should not just
take him for granted.
Oh yes, that's what I'm saying. Because even the impact he has made, but the problem I have is that most of the people that are on the cyber level, how many of them are going to vote? That is why. Then if you look at even INEC, when they were starting this this new type of registration, they said they have a software that if a person registers twice, it will delete itself. That thing has not come to play.
No, they have detected some.
They have, and they have deducted.
Yes, ordinarily, I think there's a technology that if a person has registered before and registers again, should be able to identify it.
I think they claim they have.
Because I witnessed in Oshobo here when I wanted to go and collect my car. A man was complaining that I didn't see you. Then the man looked and said you registered twice, and that's why you cannot find your own. That you have to go back to court, put on an affidavit that this is the reason what happened, and that you want it to be done.
It's working.
No, fine.
So to some extent.
Very good. Now, if it is working, fine. So, but the important thing is that guy has made an impact. I only wish and pray that it will translate into
voting. Cyberbullying, those that are fans of Peter Obi, Would it be right to say the elite, or do I call them the educated, had the one, unlike the docile? I'm not talking about docile Nigerians who will accept Oga Sokwe, Baba Sokwe. I don't know the set of people that are following Peter Obi, those that are educated and that are elite, who could actually speak about the economy, about education, about good governance.
Well, even if they are the people following Peter Obi, I think the narratives will change this time around. Because, you see, the way the youth have risen up, it shows that they are feeling the heat and they want to get themselves.
And that's why they are Japa.
Yes, they are feeling the heat. I don't want to agree with Muri that this youth only make noise on social media. No, they have rediscovered themselves, and you see, well, Peter Obi, I don't want to believe that is a spoiler. Although
play the spoilers.
No. It's a serious candidate.
He is.
He is a very serious candidate, and if at the end of the day there is runoff, Peter Obi will be the beautiful bride.
That is it. If it's not within
within the first two,
yes.
he'll be the beautiful
and it's
bride.
likely not to be
courted,
first two.
And that's where you know its importance. Having said that, I still want to maintain that the youth will come out more forceful than before this time around, because they are the category of people that are feeling the heat more than other people. So they have decided, and they have made their position known that this is the person. Majority of them have made their position that this is the person they are teaming up with, and I think there will be some difference.
Now we are expecting about 93.5 million voters. INEC informed Nigerians that additional 9.5 million voters cards have been printed to add to the 84 million we had some 4 years ago. But if you take a look at the 84 million voters for 4 years ago and the number of votes that were delivered, you discover that it's always lesser, even not at times not even up to half of the registered voters. I would like you to see this trend this time around.
No, the trend may be different. Using Oshun as an example, you realize the people came out, particularly the youth. So they are. My only problem why I said the Labour Party may be the spoiler, not the word. Maybe I'm getting
maybe the beautiful bride.
No, not the beautiful bride. That they will be the deductors. If I should use the word, they will be deducting from the area which has been the natural market.
So influencer.
So by the time they take from the APC, take from PDP, they won't be able to get 23% of the state they are expecting. 25% in 23 states.
24
in 24 states. So as a result, none of these parties are likely to have that figure. So in the runoff, Obi will be the beautiful bride. So if you are expecting people 89 plus 90, no. But the problem is that the youth will come out in a forceful way, but the youth are not in the same camp. You have the Social Democratic Party, you have the YPP, we have the Kwakwaso there. So these are some of the things, assuming they are able to put their egg in one basket.
But it has always been like that.
And that's what I'm saying, you should not expect. Then two, there is this social aspect that people felt discouraged. These are the promise of Messiah, and what is the likelihood. And even when you listen to comment, is there any difference between the three? The three is Obi not part of the old order. So these are still going to count when the day get closer.
But out of, you still find somebody that...
No, they will, but you don't expect people to come in a large form that people now come and vote as they did in Britain or US.
Okay.
But however, there are going to be some little differences, and the difference will be made by the youths who feel they could change the game.
Okay, taking a look at the July 16th governorship elections in Osun State, I met a youth just about 24 hours to the election day, and I asked him jokingly, who are you voting for? And he mentioned the candidate then, and I said, why? He said, he got influenced through the social media that he was convinced that was the better candidate to vote for, or the best candidate that we have a lot of them. So because if you don't you think you are underestimating
The social
and the social media?
No, I'm not. But what if the past is anything to go by? And we have it. Even though the first time social media played a major role was in 2015. And in 2015, what happened, according to Baba Kandes in his book, My Participations, APC commissioned a company, AKPD, from US. They came, they examined the Nigerian political terrain, and they gave them some advice. In fact, there was going to be election of Ngige, and they predicted that, going by what they have on ground, kind of public opinion, that Ngige was not going to win the election, and he didn't. And there is so I'm not discountenancing the role of the social media and the influence of the youth. But you see, the real people who vote, I know things are going to change, but the changes may be marginal. There will be change. I have said it. The only thing that is permanent in that is change. So there could be a marginal change, which might not be so staggering enough to change some certain things. Now, so what I'm saying in effect is that, you see, people who vote are not the elites. Most of the elites on the voting day will either sit in their rooms.
Don't you think things are changing?
Things have changed.
Well,
There are clear indications